how to make the purple guy from Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, this isn't really going to be much of a tutorial. This is just going to be a video of me making this shit. Because I'll explain a couple things, but I'm not really able to film these videos very well, so so you're not really going to get much out of them. But yeah, first step to it, you're going to want to draw out your design on a piece of paper. Now, I didn't film myself doing that, but I did, and that's what I'm using as a reference there. Then you're going to want to roll up some wire. You're going to want to roll up 2 wires on each other, rolled up into an armature, a little skeleton for your model. And so I didn't have enough foil to wrap around the body, but I did have clay, so I put clay over it to give him some shaping beneath the clothes that we're going to sew him up. But I did give him a neck. I'm going to make him some feet, and I'm going to make him some hands, and I think we're also going to make him a couple tools, some tools for the purple guy over here. So while we wait on me to finish sculpting him, I want to explain the purple guy that I'm making. So there's a couple of different versions of the purple guy people depict, and there's not just like one purple guy unless you're talking about the movie version, which I am not making. But looking up some references for the purple guy, there's a lot of different interpretations of the guy. You got the square digital one, you got the twink ponytail one with the giant smile, and then you got more like uncanny looking scary guys. I'm going for the uncanny scary guy. I think I started this with the twink one in mind, but I don't know. I think the scary one would be a funner paint job, which it ended up being. But I don't know. I just think it's pretty interesting though that like this guy kills 7 children. I believe, right? Like 4 in the first game plus Golden Freddy. That's like 5. But then you also have his daughter. But so I guess that's more like 6, I think. But he does all this, and people still draw this guy a lot of sex appeal. I think that's pretty funny. It really shows. Oh, also, this is me showing it off to someone in the background, so don't mind how chopped I look in all these. I wish I filmed these a little better, but so this is me. I'm finishing up the body now, and I'm now drawing out his future clothes. These are his pants, and I'm working on his shirt. These are just the templates for that. This isn't the material we're going to be sewing because I don't think paper would be easy to sew on. So I leave the room. I should probably cut that out, but I left the room to go get a white pencil. Now, I find out that using a white pencil on felt is actually probably not the best thing to use, and we're like 5 figures in, so it would have been pretty nice to know that sooner, but we actually use a Sharpie after this. That works a lot better. So yeah, here's me just tracing the template down, and I don't know how much you guys really need of commentary, but I feel like I can't just have me doing this for 26 minutes without any form of commentary. But I could probably put some fucking music on, so we might do that whenever I run out of things to talk about, and we're only 4 minutes in. So here's me gluing down loops. There we go, that loops. So now we're going to go back to sculpting the guy, because I realized if we work on the pants right now, and we have to sculpt the face and then wait for it to cook in the oven, and we could just sculpt it and then sew the pants, while that thing's cooking in the oven. So we did, you know, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't, but so here's me sculpting the face. This took a fat ass minute of time. This whole video probably was like 46 minutes long before I sped it up to times 10. Yeah, definitely was pretty tough. But on the other side of the camera, we got a reference to the picture I used earlier. Scary looking ass figures, or scary reference art. It's gonna be used for a scary ass figure, that's for sure. As you can see in the video, the head is pretty long. I'm sure probably some people think, oh man, he must have a giant forehead, but you know, that head ultimately gets used for more important things, you know, like his hat, you know. This is probably where I put music on. Yeah, this is one of those moments where it's not really a very good tutorial, because I don't know how I'd even go about explaining my methods to sculpting this face. I guess the one thing I focused on was the cheeks, by kind of creating a shaping where the smile would be. Really, that was the big thing I focused on, just a smile, since I don't really care much about the eyes, nor do I really even make the eyes. I also the nose and the mouth are the most important parts of this face. So I guess while I'm like here still, while I'm sculpting this, which is gonna take a bit, I guess I could talk about, you know, Purple Guy. I think when I first got into Five Nights at Freddy's, it was, I think the second game already came out, so like it was back then. Third game didn't though. So the Purple Guy was like very mysterious, and I remember like when I was in like third grade, I wanted to sound all cool to my friends that were all like getting into Five Nights at Freddy's. So to do that, I just lied through my teeth about stuff. One of which was seeing the Purple Guy in FNaF 1. I used to, now granted, I don't know if it was FNaF 1 or FNaF 2. Either one. I think it might have been FNaF 2. But I never even played the game. I don't think I played FNaF until I was like pretty old. Yeah, so I told my friends that like, oh, I encountered the Purple Guy, and like I was like, yeah, no, the jump scare's on YouTube. You know, I got that same one. Well, like the jump scare was fake, and I don't know if anyone knew I was lying about it, but I don't know. I used to lie heavily about this game. You know, I used to lie a lot about like the shit I was into, but mainly FNaF, because it was mysterious back then. You know, I heard one guy talk about like how kids grow attached to stuff like FNaF because it almost feels like something like mysterious, something that like they're discovering, like I don't know, like kind of like Stranger Things. You know, like it felt like that, this like game that like it seemed like I shouldn't be getting myself into. So like I don't know, but so in this I'm just finishing up the hat. Later on, my girlfriend actually walks in, and I told her earlier that like, oh, I'm making the Purple Guy, and she's like, oh, okay, and then like leaves, and she comes back later on, and she's like, whoa, wait, is that like the guy from Five Nights at Freddy's? And like, to this day, I'm still thinking like, what Purple Guy was she thinking I was sculpting? Now she also asked me if I was making Waluigi, or she's like, oh, it kind of looks like Waluigi. So I wonder if she thought I was making Waluigi at first. Anyway, so I think in this we're now making the axe to fit into his hand here. Also, I know it's weird that I got a Luffy figure next to me, but I don't have a roller, and I think he's 6 inches, so just using him for like a 6-inch reference. I still think the figure's a little too tall though. So now we're just fixing up the shoes a little bit, giving them a little bit more depth, I guess. And now it's to the oven. So now it's time to sew up these pants. I always start with the pants first. Like any figure that I work on, I always start with the pants. I don't know why. I always do that. But yep, this is
It's me trying to get the string through the needle, and I think I actually had to like swap needles at one point because one of them was just like so like rounded, I guess, at the tip. But I still use that one to form a belt. Yeah, while I was working on these pants though, when I got to the middle area of them, I kind of realized I probably should swap stitches. Like the same stitch I've been using probably isn't going to cut it if I'm not going to do like if I'm not going to turn it inside out, you know. Here's my girlfriend showing me how to do another stitch because I want to stitch the arms. Now I regret this so much, right? I wanted to stitch the outside of it so that I didn't have to like turn it inside out because that's always a pain in the ass, right? So I should have done the outside stitch last and done the inner stitch first. Didn't do that, so I still had to turn it inside out. Like, why would I do that? I'm so stupid. Like, I don't know. Somebody got to take fire axe and beat me to death with it. Am I right? Someone needs to stuff me in a golden bunny suit for that mistake. But dude, I look so fucking chopped in all these, man. Like, I trust me. I look better when I'm not like, I don't know, letting all my fucking face skin hang out, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
If you see us in the daylight, you'll be so happy just as long as you survive.
I think we kind of explained like the purple guy we're kind of making this based off of, but I never explained why. Like I've been into like FNaF and all that since I was a kid, but like only recently did I ever like go like, oh, you know, a purple guy would be a fun character to make, and it's really because of the edits, you know, like I saw a really good edit of the purple guy and I was just like, you know what, he'd be fun to make. We'll make him. But I'm low-key like a hypocrite when it comes to edits, because when I see someone enjoying edits, I low-key kind of like look at them like, right, you need to grow up, pal. You gotta grow up. Oh, like, but then like, you know, I see an edit and, you know, I'm also like, oh, you know, that's kind of tough. But, you know, I'm not gonna really like tell anyone about it. You know, I'm not gonna. Well, actually, I am gonna tell someone about it. But, you know, I'm also gonna talk shit on you. I'm also gonna talk shit if I see you enjoying edits. So, you know, like I'm just that kind of guy. So this was low-key kind of unfortunate. While I was finishing up the body, I noticed that the template that I created didn't actually work that well. It was actually a little too small for the guy, and he ended up getting the sluttiest waist known to man. Like even sluttier than like images like these. Unfortunately, you know, like I was trying to go for this uncanny-looking guy, but you know, his hips kind of tell a different story. You know, like, is this guy, you know, killing kids, or is he like carrying them? You know, like, you know, he got like very breedable hips, so that was really unfortunate, to say the least. But I don't know if y'all could even notice it, but
if you survive the night, oh, I'll take you away to enchanted land of grace. Forgive me for being suspicious. Mischief's not on my brain. We're programmed to be pragmatic. If someone messes with the mainframe, it's not that we don't.
Here's me just gluing down buttons and his badge, and his little belt buckle. So you can't really see my face in these clips, but I can assure you there was a lot of dismay every time I'd look at this creature that I created. And then I kind of showed it off to my girlfriend here. very disappointed about how his hips turned out.
Do some good, you've gotta be the bad guy in this world.
So for the painting process, I painted this guy all black at first, and then after that I went back with a like dark reddish gray, and then started kind of like planting the seeds for his like skin, or his like real like skin tone, I guess. I don't know, I'm not really good at painting. I saw a video where they were using like red coats and yellow coats and then blue coats for like shadows, and I was like, oh, I'll try that, but like the black already acts as a shadow, so the main thing is just red. And I guess if you use yellow as a light coat, but I didn't use yellow either, so I just kind of used the red tutorial there, you know, red tip, I guess. But yeah, so that's how I kind of started the painting. Then yeah, I moved to red, and then I started adding purple highlights on top of that red, and then I added white highlights, a whitish purple over that. And then of course I'd like tap into the reference material just so I remember, or just so I know what I'm painting, you know. This is all a how-to, by the way, so if you're not following me, you're failing, not me, okay? Like I'm a great teacher, honestly.
We're not so scary if you see us in the daylight. You'll be so happy just as long.
So to just fill this empty space of just pure music, I just want to like, you know, stop and appreciate how quickly I turned this guy out. You know, like I started this at like 5 o'clock, and I think I finished at like 10 or 11, maybe probably 12, whatever, time doesn't matter. But like I really turned this out. I finished this in one sitting, you know, like whether that's a good or bad thing, you know, like to show like my resilience as a man, you know, like I don't know, who's to say, but like I don't know, there's some self-glaze there, you know, you got to do that occasionally, you know. Yeah.
You'll be so happy just as long as you survive the night. I'm sure you'll survive. Just don't break the rules and play nice. And I'm sure that we'll all get along. We'll be the best of friends. Forever.
Another little thought I was thinking about throughout the process of this was I went on Spotify and looked up FNaF music. That's what I was listening to while doing this, and I listened to 2 different playlists. One was FNaF songs, the other one was FNaF bangers. And the interesting part about both of them was neither one of them were what they said they were. You know, the FNaF bangers one had like I think like 2 or 3. You know, they got the classic ones, but you know then they start putting on these not so banger songs. You know, they weren't really bangers. You know, like some of them were just covers of already goated songs that just did not do it any better. You know, the other one didn't even have FNaF music sometimes. So you'd be like, I think this one was the FNaF songs, and half of them were just like Living Tombstone songs. They weren't actually just FNaF songs. Or and it's like what are you doing? Like that's not FNaF music. And out of both playlists, neither of them had the absolute banger that is the Purple Guy song. I am the Purple Guy. Oh, amazing! I shot a night. Like I didn't even got that song. Neither one of those playlists played that song, which is like really weird. Like, am I the only one that knows about that song? So here you are, the party. I don't know. I can't think of the lyrics, but it's probably playing right now. Honestly, thanks to future me. Speaking of music, I don't know if I'm allowed to even play half of the FNaF songs because of copyright. I've just been looking up copyright-free FNaF music. Okay, I kind of stopped caring about the copyright midway through making this video, so like half of them are like the real songs, the other half are like I guess alternated versions of the song. I don't know, but we're almost done. Just a couple more seconds. I guess I'll keep the music on, I guess. Low-key, I still kind of hate how this guy's built. He's kind of built like Gumball Watterson, you know, thick-ass waist for, like, no reason. Like, almost like hamburger-ass waist, you know, like, straight down, and then just kind of like, he's kind of shaped like a bong. A Gumball and this guy, like a fucking Plumbus from Rick and Morty. I don't know, not too big of a fan of that. Probably one thing I'd do differently.
Leave me alone, I'm caught to the bone. The spring trap has risen, God damn, it's not alone.
Alright, so we're almost finished. We're actually right there. How I know this isn't because of the time of the video. being a minute short of being finished, but me putting the eyeballs, because that was the last thing I added to this figure, which was the whites for his eyes, and that was the last thing I painted, so that means he is now finished.
Okay, maybe I painted a couple other things besides his eyes. But no matter where I was done, And so here's some glamour shots of our creation here. I am selling him to the highest bidder on Instagram, so if you want him, just shoot me a text. I'll sell him to the highest bidder. And yeah, no, I'm pretty proud of him. I think here's a picture of him next to my Judge Holden figure. So yeah, just hit me up.